Hi everyone and welcome to my channel. For this first video I'm gonna show you all of my coloring books collection. Here is where all is happening. I have a lot to show you. First things first, my name is Julie, I am French, I live in France. I am 34 years old and I color, it's been 5 years. Yes, it's been 5 years I'm coloring, so I have a lot. So here are my books. Here are the books I've colored in for the month. Here are my Amazon printed books, my tutorial books, the papers I'm using. Here is my desk with my whips and the bookmarks I've made. I have a lot, yes. So for this video I'm gonna show you just the books, but I color a lot in Imagimorphia from Kirby Rosen, and I color a lot in the Harry Potter cinematic gallery. So I think these are gonna be the next videos, but if you have any questions, tell me in the comments and I will be really happy to answer you. If I'm saying something wrong, just tell me, there's no problem at all. I'm here to learn English, I'm here to try my best. So I'm really fond of Disney, yes. I like Disney, I like Avatar movies, I like Harry Potter movies, Fantastic Beasts, of course. So let's begin with all of my Klara Markova's books. First, Magical Delights. I've colored some few pages. Here is a fun one. I've changed the blueberries into eyeballs. And I have another spooky idea. Yeah, for this page, it's like the people were being kidnapped. And I think I will put blood on the towel. I like this kind of ideas. Then Tenderful Enchantments. I've colored, this page, I've colored this page with Coloring at Viz back in 2019. I've colored this one. Oh, I'm not gonna show you everything, but I have a lot. Then I have the Fairy Miracles. I've done a few pages. I've done like 4 or until 6 pages in each books. Not that much because I'm working on other illustrators. This one is the last one I've made of Klara Markova. Then I have the Fairy Celebrations, and I've done also a few pages, of course. I've done a double spread in this one. Yeah. Mostly I'm using Prismacolor Premier pencils because I really like these pencils. And for the background I never use pencils. It's always watercolor paint or acrylic paint or Neocolors too, but I never use pencils. And then in the last one, Fairy Touch of Magic, I've done 3 pages. I like Halloween pages. They're very intense. I really like these pencils. But maybe I will talk more about my mediums in a future video. This one is done with only Derwent Inktense and Neocolors too for the background. So that's it for Klara Markova. Next I have a book from Maria Troll. This is the only one I have. This is the Botanicum. Because I prefer this one. I used, like here, it was back in 19 August. So this is one of the first colored pages I've made. Here I used pastel for the background. This one is made only with gouache, but not quality gouache. I used gouache you have at school. So I hope in my videos you will be motivated to to use like the things you had at school, the things you have in your drawer you never use. I hope you will use like the inexpensive, like the cheap, yes, the cheap items you have. You do not need to like to spend a lot of money to color. There's no need at all. So I really hope you will get it. Here I added Piquet. Here is Piquet. I've done a few pages like that. Oh, I wanted to do one, but I have not enough time. This one, for example. Next, here are my Hannah Carson's books. So this one is the Seasons, and I've made a few pages, of course. These pages were made a long time ago. For this one, I used the palette from Jane Davenport, the skin one, but the paper is really soft, so it's quite hard to use this medium in this kind of book. And the thing is that every Christmas I color a double spread. So this one was made back in 2020. This one was made in 2021. I tried to learn faces. It was quite hard for me. This one in 2022. And I used light fast pencils, and for the background it was Inktense block and pastel. Then I have the collection of the tales. So we begin with the Midnight Masquerade. I've made this page. In this page I like it because I added the trees. So the trees above, they are really opaque, but the trees behind, they are quite transparent to build a kind of perspective. So it's really simple, really simple. I've done this double spread a few weeks ago. Sorry, so sorry for the glare, so sorry. And then, oh, this one, it's like Madame Jack, Mrs. Jack and Mrs. Sally from The Nightmare Before Christmas. Yeah, I really like this book. I've done this frog, and in the background it is a watercolor, I think it's called Boku Undo. It's a Japanese watercolor. It's like the Kuretake one, and it's only black paint, like a yellowish black, a purplish black, a bluish black, and it's perfect for the spooky, creepy books. I really like this watercolor. I'm gonna show you in a future videos. Then the Forest Kingdom. Also, I've done a few pages. Oh, not that much. I think I've done only this one with drawing pencils and watercolor for the background. And in the City Among the Stars, I have done nothing. Nothing. This is my newest book. I have it for just like maybe 3-4 weeks. A friend of mine, she gifted me this book. It's so fantastic. I love it. You can do colored pages like Arcane you have on Netflix, or like this kind of sci-fi movie or series. I'm really into that kind of coloring. Then I'm gonna show you my books like the square ones. So I have the collection of the Harry Potter watercolor magic. So this one is the first one, this one is the second one. I'm going to begin with this one. So you have the tutorials, and then you paint with your watercolor. You need you do not need, you do not need the palette they are using. You can do with your own watercolor. But if you want, you can purchase, I think, yes, this is the Winsor & Newton Cotman Half Pan Studio Set 45. Exactly. I've done this one really recently, and it's really easy, really simple. It's really nice to learn watercolor. I really like this tutorial. And the illustrator is Duxé Audouard. I really like her work. Then the second one, I just had it for just like 1 or 2 months, and I really like it. And I've done only this one. The thing is that you have like the first level, the second level, so I passed the first one and I'm really happy. Then I have some Japanese books. This one is Secret Invitation, and it's a new book, so I've done nothing. Maybe I'm gonna make this double spread in a few weeks, I hope. I really like the perspective in this book. And I really like the animals. Yeah, to make a fur effect. It's quite hard, but I think I will have a lot of fun in this book. Then this one is the only Eri one I have, and I think this one is the Magic Witch Fairies. I'm sorry because I don't know the titles of these books. I've done this one with the 180 Brutfuner pencils, and I really like these pencils. I've also used Holbein pencils and watercolor for the background, Inktense for the tree. It was so fun. I really like this book, but you know what? I really like every single book I own. This one is the Fairy Tales from Emily Liderhall-Oberg. I've colored a few pages in a really simple way. I used watercolor for the background, drawing pencils, Inktense pencils. This book, I think I'm gonna use only watercolor pencils, because it's easier and you have a lot of surface. I'm sorry, I don't have the word every time. Inktense and watercolor for the background. And in this page I tested all of my colored pencils. The next one is the Rhapsody in the Forest from Kanoko Egusa. Oh, I've done quite a good pages. This one is the last one I've made for Christmas, for last Christmas. The sky is only cheap, but really cheap acrylic paint. You don't need to spend a lot of money. And for the, I don't remember for the pencils, I'm sorry. Paint also for the trees. I've done this one. In this one I added the wall and the ground, the tree. It was fun, but it was a long one. I've done this cat, and then the trees. But the tree, it's like the first version. And I've done this double spread. Yep. So then I have the pop manga Cute and Creepy from Camilla Derico. My zombies in a graveyard. I really like this double spread. This one is the last one I've made, and I used acrylic paint for the background. Really cheap acrylic paint, and I added a lot of water. And this one is made only with watercolor for the character. I use a lot of different medium in this book. This one is made only with acrylic paint. This double spread with markers watercolor markers for the characters, and for the background it is acrylic paint again. Same thing for this one. This one I used oil pastel for the background and drawing for the dog. That's it. Then this one is a really special book for me. It's like one of the best books I own, and I know it is not a really known book. This one is The Witches from Aurélie Castex, and I will put the link in the description box because it is a really good one. It's so fun, so fun. I hope you will like it. It's quite detailed, yes, but you have like this double spread. It's really simple to do, really fun. You can put a lot of different colors. I used new colors too for the background, Inktense for the witch. I've done this one with watercolor for the background, pencils like Brutfuner for the character. This one, it's not new colors too, it's like aqua color crayons from Lyra or something like that. I don't remember, but it's like cheaper crayons. And Goldfaber aqua pencils for the witch. I like to use like cheap materials in my easy coloring books and more expensive materials in my really good books. So this page was done with Lightfast pencils, for example. So then, Gnomes in the Neighborhood from Denis Clett. I've done this page with watercolor. Is really hard in this book. Oh, it was watercolor and new colors too for the sky. And color soft pencils. This one was Dorent Inktense entirely. I've done this one, watercolor and drawing, and Prismacolor Premier. This one was done with soft pastels and Winsor and Newton colored pencils. Oof, I'm saying all the mediums I'm using. I think I'm not gonna tell you in each book, but you will have an idea of how I color. Then I have the Tolkien's World book. There is in this book different illustrator, and this is one of my first book. So this page was done back in 2019 with watercolor pencils. This one was done with watercolor, only watercolor. It was really fun to do. This one with watercolor and Prismacolor Premier for the bird. Yeah, I'm not gonna tell you everything because I've done a lot. Yeah. Next, we have all of my Kirby Rosens books, but the thing is that I colored a lot of pages, so I'm gonna make a specific videos for this illustrator, but I'm gonna show you a few of my colorings. For example, in the Imagimorphia, this is one of the books I've colored a lot. I've colored 57 pages out of 80. So, for example, I've colored this double spread and I added Nemo characters, Martin in French. I'm sorry, I don't have the name. Dory. Yep. I have a lot of reference in the movies. King Kong, and the city is on fire. I've used acrylic paint for the fire, and the rest is Prismacolor Premier. Oh, I've done this double spread. I wanted this double spread like as if we were inside the house of Santa Claus, and then you look outside. Here is like a window I added with Inktense pencils. The background is watercolor pencils, and I don't know if you can see, but there's like trees, Christmas trees here on the sides. I've done a lot of pages, but don't worry, I will make a specific video for these books, and I will remove the pockets so you will be able to see my colorings. Before moving on, I would like to tell you just something. If you want to purchase Kirby Rosen's books, I really recommend you to purchase the Marabout editions, but not the old one. Please, they have changed their paper since. So for the Mythomorphia and the books before, the edition is horrible. It's terrific. I do not recommend you the old one, but the latest one from Marabout is absolutely heaven. Absolutely heaven. So it's a really thick paper. You can use everything inside. So for the old versions, not Marabout, but you can purchase the Polish edition. I'm gonna show you Kaliber. Kaliber is also perfect for if you want to use all materials. Yeah, so these are the both editions I recommend you. So for the Mythomorphia, but it's an old version. The paper is really thin. It's really hard to make watercolor in it, but you can color. There's no problem, but it's a little bit harder. So I've done this one. For example, this one. Then we have Words Within Words. I've done the Cobra with new colors too, colored pencils. I've done these hands. There is a base of markers, and then I colored with colored pencils. This page. Then the Phantomorphia and Geomorphia. You have both inside this book. Only Inktense pencils for this page. Acrylic paint for the sky. Prismacolor Premier for the rest. Okay. Then Fragile World. I don't remember, I'm sorry. I've done the Amazon birds with luminance pencils. It was the first time I used these pencils, and I really like doing this page. Then Mythic World. I've done two. I've done this page with Inktense and luminance pencils. I've done this switch. And finally, Alien Words. Wow, I've just had it for a few months, so I've only made this title page with watercolor light fast pencils, and that's it. Next, I have the Fantastic Beasts coloring book, and it's like one of the first coloring books I had, so there is like really old colored pages. This one is really recent. Yeah, I've used Coloria Imaginor pencils. I've done this one, and maybe another one. Like, I really like also doing patterns, but I don't do a lot. Then I have the Hufflepuff Harry Potter coloring book, and I do not recommend you the Hachette Heroes in this series. It's really thin paper. I think this series is also with Insight Editions. So I've done this pattern page, or I'm not gonna show you every pattern page. This double spread. For the background it is Gelatos from Faber-Castell, and I have written all of the names of the characters, like with Harry Potter writing. It was fun. Then in the Jasmine Beckett Griffith Halloween coloring book, I love this book. Oh, I love it so much. I've done this page with Holbein pencils, if I remember well, and watercolor for the sky. And I've done another one, this one, like Bella and Edwards from Twilight. Yeah. Then I have this Japanese, or no, Chinese coloring book. I've done this page with soft pastel pencils. It's only soft pastels. It was really hard. Really hard. And this one with pencils, regular pencils. Then in Muses or Mystica from Dada Shio, I've done this page and I've used Holbein pencils. Then I have the Dunkelbund from Sarah Richter. I really like this book. I only have this book for a few weeks, so I've only done this title page with watercolor, but I plan to make a page in a few weeks maybe. And the thing is that I have reference from the movies I watch. Here I think I'm gonna like color this page like the girl in Arcane, the blue girl with the blue hair. Here there is in Avatar 2, there is a girl from the eyes, Arcane, the pink girl, the pink hair girl. So I have some reference. This is the best book for portraits. Then for the Harry Potter Cinematic Gallery coloring book, you will have a specific video for this book because I've colored a lot. So I've colored 36 pages out of 85, and I've done 2 fourth spread. Yep. So for example, yeah, I know, I'm gonna show you this page. I've colored this page. This page took me 5 weeks. Yes, 5 entire weeks. It was so hard, but I've made it. And I'm really happy. I really hope you will be motivated. I've done, for example, this one, Mad-Eye Moody. This one is the most recent one I've made. And also in this book I always use watercolor for the background and Prismacolor Premier or Luminance pencils for the characters. Watercolor, etc. It's always the same. Yep. Next, I'm gonna show you all of my pocket-sized books, my bookmarks, my postcards. Everything is in that case. So, first, I have these bookmarks from Hachette Heroes, and I have the Mickey and Co. one, but I can tell you that I have finished another bookmarks book, and you will see in future videos that I have finished like 5 books, if I remember well. I have finished like 3 Disney books, and oh, I don't remember. You know what? I don't remember. So I have these little bookmarks to color. I've colored like 5 bookmarks out of this little book, and I'm gonna show you some of them. Here they are. I color these ones in a really simple way. I use markers, I use gel pens, I use washi tapes, watercolor for the background, ink pads, and here are scrapbooking papers from Disney. Really, I use really cheap medium. Then I have the I Believe in Fairies postcards, and I've done a few of them. I've done this one, this. So, yeah, I really like Klara Markova postcards, but I've done just a few of them. Then I have the Miki Takei postcard book, and I've done two. Yes. So this is the one I've made, and this is the model, and this is the one I've made, and here is the reference. I use watercolor as a first layer, and then I used artist pencils from Derwent. This is the only way I like to use these pencils because they are really hard, and I don't recommend you these pencils, not at all. Then I have the a cat book from Mademoiselle, but if you remember well, I have shown you a book from Aurélie Castex, and I told you I will put the link in the description box. So the thing is that it is the same illustrator, but I don't know why this is not the same name. But it's the same style. You know, it's the same style. And I really like Aurélie Castex or Mademoiselle. They are the same. The one I have is a pocket-sized book, but it also exists in a large size. And I've done these little kitties. Yeah. Then I have some Disney books from Hachette Heroes. These are really old books, but I really like old books. I like every single book of my collection. I've done this page with Gongui pencils back in 2018. Wow, November 2018. This page, I've done a few pages. Maybe I will make like a specific video for my Disney colorings if you want. The Bestiaire one, like the animals one, I've done like this page, this one. This one is in Catalan. It's a Spanish language. I really like Catalan language. This one is Alice in Wonderland. Alice in Wonderland from Good Wives and Warriors. I've done a few pages. This one. Where is my cat? This crocodile. This double spread is really recent one. And that's it. Then the mini block love stories. I've done like 2 pages. This one with Brutfuner pencils, if I remember well. And this page with Gongui pencils back in 2019. I have the Fedorables minis from Selena Fennec. I really like this illustrator. The last one I've made is this one. I tried to do like a human side and a Frankenstein side with a little bit of blood. Just a little. Oh! This one is one of the first coloring pages I've made. This one was the first in this book. Oh yeah. I've done this one. I've done quite a few. Then I have this Chinese book. I bought it on AliExpress. It's just little pages, very poetic, very a little bit sad. There is a lot of sadness in these pages, but I really like them. It changes. I've done this one with alcohol markers. The background was done with watercolor, but it's not a really good paper for that medium. Next, I have the Disney Dreams collection by Thomas Kincaid Studios. Oof, I'm sweating. Just oof, it's quite a lot of work. Yeah. This is the first I've made in this book in April 2019. Oops, I'm sorry for the glare. I've done it with acrylic paint, Prismacolor Premier, and Inktense pencils. I'm gonna show you everything I've made in this book because I've only done 5 pages. Then I've done this page. It is really hard, but it's possible to make these pages. It's possible, but it's a lot of work. This page in June 2021. This page in September 2020. This one was the hardest. And then recently, in April 2023, I've done this one. You can see it on my Instagram if you want. Yes, I've done this one with for the water I used watercolor as the first base, and then for the entire page I used Prismacolor Premier pencils. The Prismacolor Premier pencils, I really like these pencils because they are really soft and you can work them as if it was paint. I used a lot of Posca also. Then I have 2 books from Fabiana Attanasio. I have the Peter Pan one, and I've done this double spread. I've done a few in this book. This one is really old, and Snow White, sorry. In the Snow White book I've done this one, Next, I have some pixel books. I really like this kind of books. It's really easy, really chill, really simple, but I don't recommend you the Girl Power because the colors are really dark. So I have to change the colors sometimes. I'm not gonna show you inside, just so you have the surprise when you color in it. So I have others. I have other books like this one, but I'm gonna show you at the end of the video because I have put them in a basket aside because I colored in them recently. And I also have this one. I bought it on Amazon Japan, and I really like the solutions. I recommend you this one. It's perfect. Next, I'm gonna show you the rest of my Disney coloring book collection. I have the vintage coloring book, and I've done 2 pages, one entirely with watercolor, and this side with Inktense and cheap pencils. This book is like you have to color large areas. It's quite difficult, but with watercolored pencils, it's okay. And I really like having simple coloring book. I don't want to color perfectly in all of my coloring books. There's no point, you know, there's no point. Then I have the Snow White coloring book, 30 scenes to color from the movie Snow White, and I've done nothing. The thing is that in that video you're currently seeing, I'm gonna show you 100 books, exactly 100, but I've not colored in 6 of them. So this one is one of the 6 I've not colored yet, but 2023 will be the year where I will start all of my coloring books. This is my main goal. Then I have the villains. I have finished already a book like that, like a really old book from Disney, and I will show you maybe. So this one, for example, I will try to make like beautiful pages. I'm gonna try, not for all the pages, because again, this is not the point. I don't want to color like perfectly in every pages. This is, no, I don't want that. I don't want competition or everything is beautiful like on Instagram. No, not at all. Not at all. This is therapy art. I make like easy things, relaxing colorings, and I like it. So this is car, but in like a realistic way, and I used drawings and watercolor. So I really wanted to show this one because it was the first one I made in a realistic way. But also I can color with like this kind of pages is just normal. I used Brutfuner pencils. So that's it for this book. Then I'm gonna show you my mystery books. I have the first one from the Grand Classique, and I've made like 60 pages. I don't remember. Yes, I've colored 61 pages out of 100. So I'm really happy. This is gonna be one of the future books I will finish. Then I have the book number 2 and the book number 6, and I've done like 3-4 pages in each of them, and I really like these ones. And I have the Mickey, Donald and Co, and this one is my favorite one. It's Mickey, so first of all it's Mickey and his friends, and it's really easy, really fun, really relaxing, and I really like this one. Then I have a lot of Coloria books. Maybe you don't know, but I already have a French YouTube channel, and I'm happy to receive the Coloria books. They are a really good company, really good paper, and they are really kind with us. So it's a pleasure for me to show you what I have from the series Coloria. I have the last one from the Wonderful Little World, so this is the number 3, and I have colored twice, one or twice, I don't remember. I've done this page with Neo colors, Inktense, Imaginor, pencils and alcohol markers. And I've done, it's not like colored pages, but I've done this with alcohol markers. Then I have the Wonderful Little World number 2, and I've done this page with alcohol markers, Arteza pencils maybe, and I've done this page with watercolor. Watercolor is okay, but it's quite hard, but it's okay. I have to work a little bit. I've done then, that's it for this book. I have the 4 Seasons, and I like this one, and I've made this page entirely with gouache and watercolor, and I've done this page with watercolor and Imaginor pencils. And I have finished a book from Coloria, and it was a mandala book. So I have the large mandalas in black and white, and I've done one page. I've done this one, In a few days I will receive their last book, the Flower Mandalas, and I will be happy to show you this book. And the last but not the least, I have the Mandalas Volume 3. So it's really simple, really relaxing. I've done this page. So that's it for Coloria. Next, I'm gonna show you all of my Amazon printed books. And because I started to color with this kind of books, I have a lot. So, and I'm really happy. I'm still happy to color in these books. I have a lot of Coco Wayo, you will see in a few minutes. But I am really into Amazon printed books because it's easy. You can use every material, every medium you want. Watercolor is okay, acrylic is okay. You can use everything. So be creative, use what you want, and it will be perfect. So I'm gonna start with my Tatiana Boguemas collection. I have the nice Little Town 5, and I've done like 5 pages in this one, and it was like one of the first coloring book I had. For example, in this page I used new colors for the background and Inktense pencils. Here is graphitint pencils and acrylic paint for the background and watercolor. This page was done with Goldfaber Aqua pencils entirely. This page was done with Inktense pencils and Goldfaber Aqua and Neo colors for the sky. Okay, I have the nice Little Town 7, and I've done nothing yet in this book. Then I have the 11 one, and I've done nothing yet in this one. I really like Tatiana. I have the nice Little Town Christmas too, and I've done a few pages. I've done this one with soft pastels and pencils. I've done this one with Inktense pencils. Also this one. Okay, and that's it. I have the Santa's Village, and it's a really fun one. I really like this one. I've done this page with Inktense pencils and Inktense block. I've done this page with Goldfaber Aqua pencils. This one with Winsor & Newton pencils. And that's it. I have the nice Little Town Halloween. I've done like 5 pages also in this one. I've used graphitint pencils, watercolor, everything is watercolor, Supervision watercolor for example, and Sakura Koi watercolor. I've used alcohol markers and Arteza pencils. I've done this one. This one was done with Carbotello. These are soft pastel crayons. That's it. I have the Halloween in Witch Town. This is one of my favorite ones. I've done this page with graphitint pencils, new colors too for the sky. Then I'm gonna show you all of my coloring books from Coco Wayo, but you will see at the end of the video I have other books. I have the Weird Couple, and I've done like, oh yes, yeah, I've done a page, just one page, just with alcohol markers. Even the shadows are with alcohol markers. I'm trying my best to try everything, every material, every medium, every style. I'm trying to do everything. Then the Chibi Girls, I've done like 2 pages. with soft pastels and watercolor. And here is alcohol markers as a first layer, and then I used watercolor. It's a technique I discovered from a friend of mine, and wow, I didn't know we can use alcohol markers and then we can use watercolor to put some shadows, lighting, etc. And I really like this kind of coloring. Then I have the Neko Girls, and I've done this page with alcohol markers and soft pastel pencils. I have the Chibi Girls Halloween one, and I've done this page with alcohol markers and like cheap pencils. Then I have the Christmas one, and I've done this page with alcohol markers and then watercolor. Next I have the Serene Little Village from Julia Rivers, and I've done a few pages. This one with watercolor pencils, also this one with Inktense pencils, and I've done this one with Coloursoft and Inktense and oil pastel for the sky. I have the August Reverie. I've done this page, this one, and this one was one of the first portraits I've made. It is really soft. Next I have the Little Fantasy from Jashli, and I really like this style because it's a chibi style. Jashli also makes other styles, but this one is my favorite. I've done this page with only Chroma Flow pencils, and I only have the 24 set, and the background is oil pastel. I've done this page with I don't remember, but the background is like crayons, and also Chroma Flow pencils. This page with Inktense pencils. This book, wow! I'm like discovering again my books making this video. I have the Mystical Lens Christmas 3 from Karen Myers. It's like Clara Markova, but like with Tim Burton touch. Oh, I'm fond of this kind of book. I made this page with only watercolor, this page with alcohol markers and then watercolor. Also, again, for this one, it's the same way. I have the Spooky Boy from Laini Dao, and I've done also a few pages. Alcohol markers, watercolor. This is the only way now I'm doing my spooky coloring pages. Alcohol markers entirely for this one. And this one is made with watercolor markers. Then I have two books from Camelia Angelkova. I have the 50 Amazing Mythical Creatures. I've done this page with Chroma Flow pencils. And that's it. And I have the 50 Marvelous Dragons. I've made two pages. This one with Winsor and Newton pencils, alcohol markers, and I've done this page with watercolor pencils, Chroma Flow pencils, acrylic paint, and brush markers for the sky. Then I have the Grimm Fairy Tales from Jade Summer, and I've made this page with watercolor pencils, and I think I made another one. Yes, Cinderella. also with watercolor pencils. Then I have two books from Sherry Baldi. I have The Night Before Christmas. Oh, these pages, I make it really simple. This is one of the first colored pages, December 2018. One of the first. It was soft pastels and pencils. This one is only alcohol markers. This one is Kohinoor soft pencils. They are perfect. They are so smooth. And then here it is alcohol markers and then soft pastel pencils. And I've done this page. Then I have the Nixie Pixie Elves. I've done this page. It's really recent, this one. I really like making this kind of coloring. And this one. And finally, I have the Fantasy Designs from Aaron Pocock. And I've done this page with soft pastels, pencils, Inktense, soft pastels, and also pencils, and again the same medium. Then here is a folder where I have all of my PDF I've made. So I've made this page. This I don't remember, but this is Marjorie Sarna. This one is a mandala from a Twitcher, a streamer. I've made this one from Mariola Budek. This one from a Jad Summer book. This one is from Emmanuel Collin. Anastasia Elikoldareva. A Jad Summer book. Mariola Budek. A Jad Summer book. Emmanuel Collin. And this is Mr. Ghibli from Alexandre Caram and Jérémy Mariez. So that's it for my PDFs. I'm gonna show you, yes, I have 3 books. I have spiral bounded. So I have the first set from Fabiana Attanasio. Now you can purchase this set, but you won't have the names. So I made a few in this one. I've made a video, and this book is colored entirely with my community in Twitch. So I will put the link in the description box. And so I made Dobby, Neville, Fred and George, and Luna. I have the Alice in Wonderland from Jad Summer, and I've done also a few pages with alcohol markers and pencils. I've done this one and the rabbit. That's it. Then I have When Dragons Dream from Anastasia Elikoldareva, and I've done one page with fluorescent colors. That's it. Then I'm gonna show you all of the bookmarks I have colored, but if you want, I will show you, like in a specific video. I have finished Les Grands Classiques. I have colored the 50 bookmarks in this little bookmarks book. So I have some Klara Markova. This one I made it with stamps. So this is Pat. So I have a lot. Yeah, I'm gonna quickly show you everything I have colored in bookmarks for 5 years. Yeah! I really like bookmarks because you can use everything. It is simple. It is fun. That's it. Another Klara Markova one. And the rest of my Klara Markova bookmarks. That's it. Then the rest of my collection is my whips. And here in the basket is the colored pages I've made for the month. So I have the En Famille book from Hachette Heroes, and it's a whip. It's not finished. I am currently coloring this page with gouache and drawing for the characters, and I still have to make some more grass here and some details on the rock. And that's it for this book. This is a book I made my first page. I'm so happy. Then I have the Spooky Town, and I'm currently making a coloring inside. And I've done like a lot of pages. 9. No, it's not a lot. Sorry, it's not a lot. In the Spooky Girl I've made a lot more pages. Yeah. So I'm using alcohol markers, and then I put the shadows with watercolor. And thank you, Alexandra, thank you for because I discovered this method thanks to you, so thank you. I've colored this page, this one, so it's always the same technique for most of them. I really like the spooky series. Then I have it's not a folder, sorry, because I don't have all of the names of the things, but I have this with all of my freebie. But oh yeah, I can show you the first colorings I've made. This was made with Gangui pencils. This was like the second coloring pages I've made with acrylic paints. This is Prismacolor Premier, my first face ever. Wow! This one is the second. No, this one is the second, I'm sorry. This one is the third page I've made. This one is the second page I've made with Bic Intensity and Polychromos pencils for the skin. This is, I don't remember, like really cheap pencils and acrylic paint. And this one is the first page I've ever colored. This one was made with Bic Intensity pencils, and I really don't recommend you these pencils because they are really hard. I recommend you the Brutfuner pencils, and I know the RTX is really recommended. And I've done the background with soft pastels. So that's it. I have a lot of freebie. Next, I have the DuckTales book from Hachette Heroes. And it's like the recent style. It's not like the old one we all know, but it's okay, it's okay. And I've done like this page with Gangui pencils and new colors for the background. And this page. Then I have the Summertime block, and I've done nothing. This one is one of the 6 books that is like empty. No colorings in this one. And finally, I'm gonna show you everything I have colored for this month. So I'm gonna show you like that. I don't think I will make another video because it will be the same. So I don't see the point to make another video. So I've done this bookmark in a really simple way. I've used watercolor for the background, markers, glitters, washi tape, scrapbooking paper, And then I have the Vitro Tome 2, and I've done this page with Neo Colors too for the background, watercolor pencils from Derwent, and Gold Faber Aqua from Faber-Castell. I've used glitters, and I'm gonna show you I have made a lot in this book. It's a really it's a new book for me, but I'm going a page a month, so I've done like already 10 pages. It's really a lot for me because I have 100 books, so I've done this one and this one, for example. But if you want, I don't know, if you want, I can make a specific video for my Disney books. Just tell me in the comments what you would like to see. So then I have the Midnight Dream from Coco Wayo, and I've done a page this month. This one with alcohol markers as a base, and then I've colored with watercolor. And I really hope they will be back soon. I love their books so much, it's really relaxing. Then I have the Witch's Cottage from Hannah Carlson, and I've done a page this month in this book with my Supervision watercolor. It's okay. It's a really simple coloring page, but I've also done like this one, or well, this one. I really like this one. And I think I've done another one. Oh yes, only with pastel colors. I really like this page. I have the Spooky Girl book from Coco Wayo, and I have colored for this month this page with alcohol markers and watercolor. In this book, I always I try to have reference from movies. For example, the Wednesday from the Addams Family. I have other references. I'm gonna show you. Here is Mary Poppins. Oh, this is a witch. This is Sally from Nightmare Before Christmas, Alice in Wonderland. This is Will, or Will as a girl from Stranger Things. So I have quite a lot like that. Oh yes, I have at the beginning of the book. This one is from Monsters. Oh, I don't know the name in English. I'm sorry, but it's a Pixar movie. And that's it. Then I have the pocket sized of Mystic Misfits from White Style, and I've done a page in this book. I've done this page, and I used alcohol markers as a base, nail polish for the dress, and colored pencils. And I really like this book. I used Chroma Flow pencils, watercolors. It's always Chroma Flow and watercolor for the background, or inks, it depends. Inks from Colorex. And this one. Next, I have the Tsum Tsum Pixel book, and I've colored also in the babies one. I'm gonna show you how I color them because I make cross, and I like to do it like that. And also in the babies, I make cross like that. I'm not gonna show you everything. And then I have the Color by Number Quest Christmas from Sachin Sachdeva. No, Kira Cherchneva. Sorry, Kira Cherchneva. And I've done this one. I really like this kind of book. And last but not the least, I have the Mystery Vitro. and I've done a page in this book for this month, and I've colored this page with markers. I always use Staedtler markers and Crayola Super Tips markers, and it's okay, it doesn't bleed through. So yeah, you have seen all of my entire collection. If you have any questions, it will be a pleasure for me to answer you in the comments below. If you have ideas like specific videos you would like to see on my channel, it will be a pleasure, so just tell me. So see you next time. Bye bye.